Hi everyone, this is Anna Catherine Stone at Injury Florida Law Firm, here with my continuation of my series of What's the Question of the Week? Well, one of the questions that we have started getting more frequently from phone calls from potential new clients and clients that retain us is, hey, I got drug tested after my workplace accident and it's probably going to come back positive for marijuana. What is that going to do for my case? And will it hurt my case? I have a marijuana card that I got from a doctor, so I can legally take marijuana in the state of Florida. Well, it's not that simple. In other words, if your employer has in place a valid drug-free workplace policy, then they test you after an accident and you test positive for things like marijuana, even though you have a medical license to use marijuana, they could deny your benefits under the workers' comp system. Now, just because you test positive for things like marijuana, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to automatically get your case denied. In other words, the employer has to prove that the potential use of the marijuana or a narcotic that is not allowed on the job under a proper drug-free workplace policy contributed to the accident. So what do I mean by that? Obviously, a gentleman called the other day and his foot had gotten run over by a coworker who had lost control of a vehicle on a job site. Well, my client's use of marijuana in that particular situation did not contribute or cause the coworker to drive over his foot. Now, I did have a phone call last week from a potential new client who fell off a roof and had tested positive for marijuana. There may be some way that the employer could argue that maybe because he was under the influence of marijuana, that's why he fell off the roof. So each case is different when it comes to a violation of a drug-free workplace policy. If they don't have a drug-free workplace policy in place, then that also alters the conversation. So my suggestion to anyone that's had an accident on the job and had to take a drug test and you're worried about that drug test, seek legal counsel. Talk to them about the specifics of your case. Talk to them about how the accident took place, but consult with an attorney before you just throw in the towel and assume that you're not going to get any benefits because you know you're probably going to test positive. But the other big takeaway from this is just because you have a medical marijuana license doesn't mean that you can go to work and be under the influence of medical marijuana. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We have offices in Tampa and Ocala. In Tampa, we are here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. In Ocala, we're by appointment only. We do practice statewide, so we are not county specific. We handle claims all over the state of Florida. We look forward to hearing from you and have a great day.